going to be, excuse me, a first impressions get ready with me on the new BlendBunny Cosmetics Forget Me Not Versatile Eye and Face Palette. I actually got this like a couple of days ago, and I'm first going into it now. I'm very excited. I've been using like 1 or 2 shades here and there as like highlighter shades or like inner corner pops. And then I'm also going to be using the BlendBunny Bare Cheeks face palette, the blush palette, on my cheeks today. And I also have a new primer and a pretty new concealer to use with you guys. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. So I just really want to jump into the eyeshadow palette because I only have like less than an hour to get ready. I want to get out of the house earlier today. So we're going to jump into the palette. So when it first opens up, it's a really, really nice way that they did this is that it opens more like this, and then it's kind of like a book, and then there's a huge mirror, and then this is what the eyeshadow palette looks like. So I want to stick with more of the like, as I just dug my finger into that. Are you serious, Caitlin? Okay, really didn't damage it that much, but that was really fucking stupid. So, we're off to a great start, guys. Great job, you friggin' moron. That was really stupid. At least it comes right off my pants, but that was really dumb. So, I'm just gonna press the product back into the pan. Oh my god, I'm so mad right now. I'm so mad. So pissed off. Okay. I think that's the best we can do. That was really stupid. Now I have to go wipe my hands. But yeah, we're going to jump into the palette. I got to clean up this shit. Okay. So once we have that all cleaned up, because that was really stupid of me. But let's jump into the palette. So I'm mostly going to be sticking with, it's just so hard to hold this up because it's so big, but I'm going to be sticking with this row. So that's what we're going to go ahead and use because I really want to use the pink matte in here, hence why I'm wearing a pink shirt right now because I wanted to do more of like a romantic looking kind of look. So I'm going to go into a moment first. And we'll see how pigmented that pink is. I'm going to take a decent amount because, okay, that is very light. I thought that was going to be a little darker. Okay, so the thing about this palette, I mean, I think I can build it up to be pretty pink. But I think this is mostly going to be a brow bone highlight. So the thing about this palette is that I understand that they were catering to a lot of skin tones, but I just feel like the shade selection in here is not my perfect kind of palette. I think I'm just going to use this to set my eyes, and then we're just going to go in with some deeper mattes because this is just not dark enough. It's not going to build up enough for me. But like the tones that are in here are kind of just very gray toned. Let me go into the white, dumbass. And not really very they should have put like, I don't know why they put 3 different grays in here. But again, I'm not the one that created this. So I get like what they were doing, and a lot of makeup artists have said that, I'm going to go into the shade Anticipation now so we can get the crease shade that we want. And I'm kind of happy I went into the pink first because it kind of makes it a bit more muted then. So that is pretty actually. So you can kind of cater it to be a little bit lighter because I didn't want it to be like super brown. So a lot of makeup artists have said that this is like a good staple for them and they're going to use this in their kit, which is awesome. But like when I saw that she was coming out with a neutral palette, I got so excited. And then when I saw it, I was like, oh, this is really pretty too. But when I got it in person, I didn't think it was going to be this big. I mean, of course, I understood that it's an eye and face palette, but I kind of wish she would have just come out with a neutral eyeshadow palette in the format that she has. And I understand this is still a gradient format, which is great, but I think that people do want a neutral palette from her, and she got a really good response from it because obviously people are gonna buy like almost all of her palettes. I mean, she has a great formula. Her mattes are so, these mattes are incredibly smooth and blendable. I can tell already that it's the formula I really love from BlendBunny, but like, I just feel like she should have done a face palette that was in her regular format, because then I feel like it would have made me want to use the palette a lot more. And it's not like I don't like the tones in here, because I think that they're unusual, and also it caters again to a lot of different skin tones, so it's not just going to cater to my own needs, and I didn't just buy it not to use it. But I just wish that she would have just made it in the regular format. That's all I'm going to say. And also, I feel like the tones of the cheek, I don't know why it went all the way out here, but we'll obviously fix that. Like she said that this is going to be like a one-stop shop palette. I'm going into the shade Picture Perfect now. I'm using one of the other mattes in the first row because, again, that pink shade wasn't quite, wasn't dark enough, so I couldn't go down the row. I need to build up some definition, so we're still going to use all the shades in that row, though, because I want to use the pink shimmer on my lid. But she could have put, like, maybe, I feel like instead of putting all of these cooler tones in here, she could have put, like, some deeper, really pink, rosy shades. Not like hot pink, but, you know, a blushy tone maybe, because then if she made, like, I would have kept the Anticipation shade and probably just moved it over here. And I probably would have moved the gray to here, because these three grays, we didn't really need three gray tones. I don't know why she did that, because, like, they are good, like, contouring shades, but I never use gray tones to contour because it always looks like so ashy on me anyway. I don't know if other people use gray tones, but I'm not one really for contouring. And also, if she wanted to make this like a one-stop shop palette, I wish she would have put some rosier tones in here, because then that could have been a blush or two for multiple different skin tones. So, like, and since the palette's pink, you would think that maybe there would have been like one or two more pink shades in it, because then that caters more so not just to a face palette, but also more of a versatile eyeshadow palette as well. So I kind of wish there would have been like another deepening like pink shade in this palette. Not hot pink, leaning more muted pink, but also like more blushy toned. I feel like that would have been perfect. But again, what do I know? I didn't make the palette. I'm just telling you guys my thoughts. I still think it performs really nicely, so I have no complaints about the formula. And then for the outer corners, I really cannot believe I did that to that shade. That was so stupid. I'm going to take the shade Unforgettable, which is like the deepest brown. And I'm going to take that and put it on my outer corners. So I can tell that the shades are very blendable, but they kind of appear a bit lighter on the eyes, and they kind of are very more like buildable mattes, which I do like. I just thought the shade would be like really deep when I put it on, but it still gives me that definition that I'm looking for. So I am just all over the place today. I don't even know why I'm filming today. I just really wanted to get this first impressions done, and also I really wanted to try the palette today, so yeah, because again, I hadn't tried it in like 2 days. I've just been using the Natasha Denona palette, so yeah, and I've been using that every day for the past 5 days, so I wanted to change it up and use something else. Because even though I want to use every single shade in every palette, sometimes it gets a little bit boring using the same palette unless it's like a more fun color story. Like, y'all know I love my neutrals. I love my neutrals so much, but sometimes you just want to change it up, so. And that Natasha Denona palette's very neutral, and so is this one. As I'm saying, oh yeah, let's change it up, but I'm still doing a neutral look today. Oh my goodness, I'm very tired today too. I didn't get the greatest sleep last night. I slept pretty good the night before, but then last night I just didn't really sleep that well. I think it's also because of the pajamas that I wore, because the pajamas that I wore are kind of warm for the summer, but they're like a short and t-shirt kind of set, but they're like kind of like a warmer fabric, and I was just like sweating. But I didn't feel like getting out of bed and changing. And also, like, I just didn't want to get out of bed because I was too tired, but I probably should have. But it was already like 4 a.m. at that point. I tried to go to bed a bit earlier too, but I never go to bed earlier than like 3:30. It's like, it's bad. Like, I really just need to go to bed earlier. So I'm just going to put on some glitter glue. And then I really want to go into the pink shimmer. So I think I've used that once as a face highlighter, but I haven't used it as a lid shade. So this is the shade Butterflies. Oh, that's so pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. It definitely comes off a bit more silvery toned on the on the eyes. God, you're doing your eyes, right, Caitlin? Jesus Christ. Okay. Like, what the hell? Anyway, so this is extremely smooth and very, very pretty. So that's a very, very smooth formula. I like that a lot. So yeah, you're not really gonna get like a more pinkier look out of this unless you want to bring in, you know, like pinkier toned mattes. But I'm really not going to be using this. Oh my God, I can't speak again. Jesus. I'm really not going to be using this as a face palette. I was going to be using it more as an eyeshadow palette. But again, it's not really my perfect neutral palette. But the formula is still really, really good. This is like so frosty and smooth. The only review that I watched on this palette was Annette's Makeup Corner. Because she was like one of the first ones to have a review up on it. And also, like, I always want to know her thoughts on like every BlendBunny palette, because she's the one that got me really into the brand. And also Batty Bean hasn't put up a video about this palette yet. I think she will soon. Or just like a get ready with me or something, but okay, so for the brow bone, maybe I'll just go back into a moment and see. Yeah, we'll just use that. That's pretty light. I was gonna use the white, but this is a very light pink shade, so it does work for the brow bone. So we got that. But I have a couple things I have to do before I get to my boyfriend's house. I was already going to pick up stuff at the dispensary, because if you guys know, weed is illegal now. Illegal. Weed is illegal, guys. Weed is legal in New York. I obviously wouldn't be talking about it if it wasn't legal. It's been legal since like 2021. And like the first dispensary went up like a couple months ago in his town, so we go there like all the time. And I have to go pick up stuff for us there, but I also have to pick up a computer part for him because he told me it's only in stock at the Best Buy that's near my town or in my town. So I have to go get that. I'm just reinforcing the mats, but I actually kind of really like the way that these mats perform, maybe even more than the ones that are in the All Done Up palette, because these are just so soft and blendable. I mean, again, I love the All Done Up palette. That's definitely a color story that appeals more to me. But even though I'm not crazy about the shade selection in this palette, I always know I'm gonna like the looks from BlendBunny because the formula is just so beautiful. So okay, that's really pretty so far. But what Annette's Makeup Corner said about the shimmers, and I was a little bit like hesitant to use them, was that she didn't really love how they looked on the eyes. Like, she really loves like the intense shimmers that are in the All Done Up palette, but I think that these are so pretty and smooth on the lids because they are more so formulated to be a shadow and a highlighter, but that makes them even smoother on the eyelids. So I think it's so pretty. All right, I'm gonna go grab my sponge and then we'll do the face. Okay, so I'm just gonna spray my face with my Do It spray as per usual. And then the new primer that I got is one of the Rare Beauty primers. This is the illuminating primer, illuminating base or whatever. And this is very similar to the, I don't know why I just put it on like that when I could have just dotted it on my face. I don't know how I forgot how to apply primer. But I wanted to see how similar this was to the Say primer. And I would have to say it's definitely very similar in consistency. But I would definitely say that this definitely feels a little bit more grippy and more like a primer. Obviously, the Say one is kind of marketed more as like a highlighting gel. But this is also very illuminating and it feels really nice. But it's definitely more like tacky because it is a primer and not just like a highlighting gel. The Say one, I would say, is still more, hydrating than this one. This one is definitely very illuminating, but not like super shiny. It looks really pretty. So I wanted to use it with the Rare Beauty Positive Light Tinted Moisturizer. So we're going to go in with that. I love this product. It's probably my favorite product from Rare Beauty is the Tinted Moisturizer. It's just so good. I definitely prefer it over the foundation. I like the foundation, but I think I'm going to have to declutter it because I think it's old. And I haven't even really touched it as much as when I use this. Like, I definitely reach for this way more than the foundation. So like ever since I got this product, I definitely use this more than the foundation. And also I've been kind of going back to testing some of my tinted moisturizers again. So I've been wanting to use some of my other ones like this one, and I used the Fenty Beauty one yesterday. But after trying the Fenty Beauty Skin Tint Stick Foundation, and after not liking it, I've been like more curious about trying my other skin tint products in my collection again, because I wasn't really able to do that last month with like the allergic reaction and everything. And just an update on that. I haven't had any reactions since then, but I do have my patch tests in like the middle of September. And originally I was going to try and see a dermatologist in between that, but I think I'm just going to wait until it looks so good. Yeah. There's none of that dryness going on like it was with the stick. Like, after I gave the stick a second shot and I still didn't like it, I'm like, this is not for me. I'm just going to return it. So now I'm trying a new concealer on camera. I have used this a couple of times, but this is the first time I'm using it on camera. So I'm going to go in with the new Tower 28 Serum Concealer, and this is the lightest shade that they offer. I believe this is 1.0. So I'm just going to go in with that. And this, I've been really enjoying this concealer. It has a lot more coverage than you think it does. And it's really, really nice. It's very hydrating, but it has really, really good coverage. Like I said, like, look how opaque that is on my nose. So I have also been trying the Makeup by Mario concealer, and I really have been liking that one. So I've just been switching off between those two pretty much. I'm probably going to use my Tarte concealer for tomorrow, though, because I'm supposed to go to the city tomorrow. I haven't been to the city in so long. And me and my friend just really want to do like a museum day, but I don't have time to go into the city next week because next weekend is Labor Day weekend, and I already have like a summer barbecue that I'm going to on that Sunday, and I'm working on Saturday, so we can't do next weekend, but I don't know if I'm going to have the energy, but we will see, because I didn't sleep the greatest, and I'm going to see my boyfriend today. I was originally supposed to flip the days, and I was supposed to rest today, and I was going to see him yesterday, but yesterday I was just so tired that after seeing one of my friends in like a further town from me on Thursday, I was just wiped yesterday morning that I was like, I'm sorry, can I see you tomorrow? Like, I just needed a rest day because I've been doing a lot for my birthday. So anyway, how many times can I rhyme? Yesterday, a lot for my birthday, I needed a rest day. But anyway, oh my god, I did it again. Oh my gosh, I'm a rhyming machine. But anyway, this concealer, like, look at how pretty it is. I love it. It just blends out so nicely, and it's becoming like one of my new favorite everyday concealers. And I really like the Makeup by Mari one. The Makeup by Mario one too. It's really good. So yeah, I forgot what else I was saying because I was gonna make a point, but now I can't remember what it was. I forgot that I put away my Rare Beauty powder, and that's the one I kind of want to use today. Yeah, I do want to use that one today, but I don't love that one to set concealers as much as the Becca one. I think I'm just going to go in with the Becca one because that's the one that's in front of me, and I don't feel like getting up anymore. Hold on. I think it was about me like testing my other tinted moisturizers and stuff, and I'm gonna go back to the allergist in mid-September. So yeah, I guess that's it. I really can't remember what else I wanted to say, but whatever. But anyway, this concealer is so nice. I really have been enjoying it, and I think it looks good with this tinted moisturizer. But yeah, I just really wasn't feeling the stick skin tint from Fenty Beauty, but I really wanted to try my Fenty Beauty Easy Skin Tint again because I wanted to see how I feel about it still, and I still love that product, and I still love the Rare Beauty one too, so I'm still gonna use like my tried and true products. So anyway, and then oh yeah, so I have to go to pick up the part for him. He already like Zelled me for it, so it's not like a big deal. And then I'm gonna go back into the palettes, and I want to do the inner corner. So I think the shade I want to use for that is the one I dug my finger in, which is the shade Cheers. And it's just a really pretty, like, light, shimmery, whitish gold shade. So we're going to use that. So it's very pretty too. I also saw the new Nomad palette was revealed today as well. I don't know if I'm going to be getting it because after getting the last 3 Nomad palettes this past year, like I've gotten all the palettes they've come out with. This palette is very pretty. Like I think that it is a palette that would appeal to me, and it does, but when I first saw the color story, I was like, oh, this is really nice, but I wasn't like super thrilled with it. But then I watched Debbie's live, and she's the first one that I watched do a look with the palette, but I wanted to make it my business to make sure I was there for that live because I kind of missed a couple of her other ones. But this one was, she didn't even start the eye look yet when I tuned in. I think I tuned in at like around like 11:15ish. She had just like finished swatching like the matte shades. I think I missed her swatching the shimmers, but anyway, I got to watch hers and I got to watch Angie's video on it, but I haven't been able to watch anybody else because I wanted to film this first impression, so I'm gonna have to watch them all later. And then for the lower lash line, I think I'm just gonna go back into that shade Anticipation. Every time I see the name of this palette, I always think of Rocky Horror, quivering with anticipation. So like it's gonna be really hard for me not to think about that. I haven't even thought about the Britney song Anticipation, which that song is like 20 years old. It was on her third album, which is Slave for Me. I'm a Slave for You, I mean. Slave for Me. Okay, Caitlin. Good job. So yeah, and I've been watching the show Barry. I am so freaking obsessed with it. I'm on the 3rd season already. I'm trying to catch up to the point of where my boyfriend left off. Because we're going to watch the 4th season together because he hasn't seen the 4th season. But, I think he just stopped watching. Like, he does that with shows all the time. And also, like, sometimes he just doesn't want them to end. So he'll stop watching. And I feel like the same way sometimes. But then sometimes you just can't stop watching. And I literally cannot stop watching this show. It's so good. Oh my god, I just love it. It's so funny. But also, like, the story is absolutely perfect. Like, I was like, oh, it's not going to be as good this season, or maybe like it won't meet my expectations, and I'm like, no, it's amazing. Like literally every season. It's only 4 seasons, and each season's only 8 episodes, so it doesn't really take long to get through. I think it's only 36 episodes in total, so that like takes like no time for me. And then the other show I've been watching is called The Bear, and that's on Hulu. Barry's on HBO Max, and Barry just ended like a few months back. So I'm just so excited to get into the 4th season. I just started the 3rd season, I think, yesterday. And then I also started the 2nd season of The Bear yesterday, so but I also don't want to blast through The Bear that fast, but I only have 7 episodes now, and that's also only 8 episodes a season, so these, I wanted to watch, like, shorter shows that didn't take too much of a commitment, because sometimes you just need that, rather than, like, binging an entire show, like NYPD Blue. Me and my mom are on the 10th season, so we still have 2 more seasons to go. So I believe it's 12 seasons, so, but it's so good. Because, like, there used to be, like, oh, this looks so pretty. It is a really pretty look, so. And it's actually a lot softer than I thought. I mean, I thought it was going to be soft, but, like people said, it's very bridal looking. Yeah, like any bride could use this. I'm going to go ahead and do my liner and mascara off camera because I don't have any new liners or mascaras to use, and then we will finish up the face. Okay, so for my liner, I just used my LA Girl liner in brown like I usually do, and then I just primed with my Essence Lash Primer, and then I used the Ilia Limitless Lash Mascara, and then for the bottom lashes, I used the Lash Discovery by Maybelline as per usual. And then for my bronzer, I'm just going to go into my ColourPop bronzer because I actually haven't used this in a little bit, but when I don't use it, I miss it. So what I was going to say about Sephora is I went to go exchange the Fenty Beauty foundation and concealer. I just wasn't really feeling either of them anymore. I wanted to see how I felt about the Fenty concealer again, and it was just too matte for me after I used it like once. Like the Tower 28 one is much more like the kind of concealer I like to use. It's more hydrating, I can already tell, but it still has a really good, nice amount of coverage. But it was so busy there yesterday because they were having a foundation event going on, and I didn't know that there was a 20% off select foundations, which was like a lot of foundations available, like even high-end luxury ones. Like it was more than just like a select few. It was like half of the foundations that were available in the store. Like the YSL All Hours one that just came out again, that one was already on sale. The Lancome, like both of the Tate Idol foundations were on sale, so I picked up a backup of my Tate Idol foundation. I probably don't need it, but I picked it up because I felt like it was a little bit expired the last time that I used it. So yeah, so anyway, and then I picked up the Rare Beauty primer because I saw Batty Bean use this on her channel like a couple of days ago. But I do want to see how these both compare to each other, because if I use up this one, because I did buy a backup of this, then I probably don't need this if I got this one. Like I probably don't need to use the backup. I might go and return that because I haven't even used it yet. But I really like how the Rare Beauty one feels and looks. It's definitely less glowy when you put your base on and set it. But I really like how it made it look. There's like still a little bit of glow peeking through where my highlight is, even though I never set that area of my face. I don't know why I put the palette away when I'm still going to be using it for highlights all over the place. So now I'm going to go into the Bare Cheeks palette by BlendBunny, and we're going to use the pink shade in here because I've been really wanting to use that one. Hopefully it's not too pink for this, but I think it's going to be really pretty. So this is not the first time I'm going into this palette. I have used two of the other shades because I wanted to start testing this out, but I haven't used this shade yet. But I went into the shade Making Me Blush and Just a Touch, and I've been really liking both of them so far. So let's go into the pink. I've been kind of dabbing it off a bit more because people say they're pretty pigmented, but I find that these are just so nice and buildable. And I already prefer this formula more so than the ones from Clarity because these ones don't have any kick up in the pan. So they're not going to be like super pigmented. They're kind of more of like a buildable formula. See, that looks so pretty. That's the perfect shade for this. So it's really not too pink. It's a little bit more icy on the cheeks, but not too much of an icy pink. It still has some like warmness to it. But it's like a really, it kind of reminds me of the one that I have from the ColourPop Alice in Wonderland collection. It's kind of similar to that pinky shade. So I haven't used ColourPop in a little while either. But I try to use, you know, my bronzer and other products like on an everyday basis. That looks really good. I could blend my blush for years, but that looks really pretty. Yeah, I really like that. So far, I think I've been enjoying the blush palette more so than I thought I was going to, and I think that the formula is just really good. It's just super blendable and easy to use, which I always think that BlendBunny is going to be because their formula is so good. Okay, and then for the highlight, I'm going to go into the same shade that I used on my lid. I think I've used this shade once before, or maybe, actually, I think I've only used this shade Cheers as a face highlight. I haven't used Butterflies yet. I forgot that literally I've only used Butterflies once. I feel like you have to kind of dig into the pan a little bit though if you use your brush. Like when you use your fingers, it's a lot more frosty, and then I'll just blend it out with a brush. I don't know why it's kind of sitting there. Okay, that's better. But like, it's just not really picking up on a brush as well as it would on your fingers. I think that, again, they work better as eyeshadows, but they're still really beautiful highlighters. But I don't find they're as easy to pick up as the highlighters that are in the Noctilucent palette. And that palette's one of my favorite, all-time favorite highlighting palettes. It's just such a beautiful palette. And when I don't know what highlighter to use when I go out, I always use that palette because I always know it's going to work. It's such a beautiful formula. But these are pretty too. But I don't necessarily want to go in with my fingers all the time, but they also blend out really beautifully. I just kind of place it with my fingers and then just blend it out with a brush. But I kind of noticed the same thing with like the gold shade that I used, that it wasn't really picking up that well on a brush. It picked up more so with my fingers, so just keep that in mind. I don't know if anybody else has said that, but that's what I've been finding. And I did wash my brushes recently, so I shouldn't be having really any difficulty. But I've just been finding that with these, but they're still beautiful. Like, this is still way better than like some of the mainstream highlighters that I tried to try lately, because those ended up not working out at all, and then I returned like basically all of them. But I have the Gwen Stefani one still, and I have the, what's the other one? The LYS one's really pretty, so. But the Bare Minerals one was not good, and neither was the Tarte one that I tried, so. And neither was the Benefit one, so. Okay, now let's go ahead and I'm just going to set my brows real quick, and yeah, we're pretty much done. Okay, and then for my lips, I wanted to go in with a new lip product, but I do want to keep like the lips more pink today, so I think I'm going to use the other products on Monday, but I want to go in with my Smashbox lipstick. This is the Be Legendary lipstick in the shade Hideout. Still smells okay. I'm pretty sure I bought this at Marshall's, but it's such a pretty like frosty pink shade, so might be a little bit too frosty for this look. It's a little bit pink. I might just blot it though, but that is very frosty. I don't know if I want to use this. No, it's too pink. Let's see, what do I got in front of me? I think I'm just gonna go in. Do I have another pink shade that I want to use? Because I don't know if I want to go with something that's right in front of me. I don't know. I don't want to use any of these either. I'm so picky when it comes to my lipsticks. Like, I could declutter half of them and still not be happy. So, should I just go in with the Summer Fridays lip balm? I think we're just going to do that because I don't know if I can be bothered with a pink lippy today. it's pretty. Like, I wanted to see what all the hype was about with these, and I do really like it. I haven't used it yet, though. I just tried it on my lips last night, and it's nice. But it is really highly scented. Okay, that's pretty. And it's not as nude as I thought. Maybe because I added the pink first, but it's like really pretty. Okay, yeah, I like that. Okay, you guys, so this is the finished look. It kind of turned out a little bit more neutral than I was hoping, but I think it looks really pretty still. So here are the eyes, the cheeks, and the lips. I actually really like how the lips look. This is the Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm in the lightest shade. I don't know why they don't list what the shade name is on the actual packaging. That's the only thing that's a little bit annoying. But it does feel really nice, and it gives a beautiful, like, glossy look to the lips. I bought this because of the Fancy Face, because she uses this in almost every single video, and a lot of people talk about the Summer Friday lippies or lip balms or whatever, so I wanted to see what all the hype was about, and I do really like it. So yeah, I'm glad that I tried that on camera with you guys, and I actually think it looks really pretty, because I just wanted like a really light lip product today, because I end up wiping it off half the time anyway when we eat. So yeah, as far as the eyeshadow palette goes, I really, really like it. I think that this is a really beautiful blendable formula, as I'm used to with the, let me not dent it again, oh my god. As I'm used to with the BlendBunny formula, and I think that the mattes just blend beautifully, and the frosty, shimmery shades are really beautiful. Did I really necessarily need this? No, I do not think so. But do I still get a really beautiful neutral look? Yes. I'm still going to be testing out all the shades. I'm very excited, but again, there's a lot of gray tones in here. I feel like I'm going to be sticking with like these brownie tones a lot more, and I'm probably only going to be using the gray tones for when I use the silver shades. So I don't know, but I don't know if this is going to be an everyday staple for me to create complete looks. I think for me, how I'm going to use this palette is if I need a deepening matte for any eye look that I do that I want to add more depth and dimension, I'm probably going to be reaching for these shades quite a lot if I need deepening mattes, like the black and the like these two shades and the dark brown. The gray tones, I'm not really sure, and then I'm probably definitely going to be reaching for the brighter tones quite a bit for my brow bone. I'm probably going to be using this shade a lot for my brow bone. I've already used it once, and it's really nice. And I'm definitely going to be reaching for the shimmers a lot, because I think that they're beautiful to add like extra pops to the inner corners. But I really think that my favorite thing is the blush palette. I think that this is really beautiful. I really like the formula of this. It's a really, really beautiful blendable pigmented formula, and I think that these are stunning. And I really love like the unusual shades that are in here. Maybe not every single shade works for my skin tone, but at least like probably, I feel like I could get all of these to work for my skin tone. Even this as a bronzer I feel like would work out better for me than the one that's in the face palette, because this is more of like a warmer tone color, but it might be a little bit too pigmented and a little bit too dark for me. But I don't know, I just feel like the blush palette is a lot more versatile for my liking than the eyeshadow palette, but I still think it's a beautiful palette. And I really, really like the face primer. I think it's really nice. My skin looks beautiful, and I really like how it looks. And I like that I don't have to deal with that super dryness that the Fenty Beauty stick skin tint did to my skin. I just was not feeling it. And I really like this Summer Fridays lip balm. So yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So please like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at CBW819, and check out my Poshmark at the same handle. English, Caitlin. You can speak English, right? That is your first language. My hair looks like butt. I'm sorry. I didn't brush it yet, and I always put on my jewelry after I film my look. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, and let me know if you guys picked up the BlendBunny face and eye palette. I would love to know, and have you guys tried BlendBunny? I highly recommend that you do. I think that the hype is real. They have a beautiful formula. Oh, what I was gonna say about BlendBunny, Jesus, is that if you're looking for a brand to build an eyeshadow collection, or just like when you're starting out with makeup in general, I think BlendBunny is one of the best starter brands that you could go with, because she's pretty much putting out, she has like an entire collection of what someone would want if they first started collecting makeup or first started using makeup. I think that her eyeshadow palette selections and colors are what a beginner would want. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you all have a great day. Bye.